Sometimes the most brilliant ideas emerge by pure chance, precisely when you least expected them. In the automotive world, a sudden insight has often led to the development of a technical innovation that revolutionized the industry. The story I am about to tell, however, concerns a small car that, despite its modest size, revolutionized the world of the automotive styling. It all began in 1947 when a former Lancia worker with a passion for racing managed to build and sell two racing cars and patented a new type of Aprilia engine. That man, Giovanni Basso of Turin, harbored an ambition to become a car manufacturer. However, lacking substantial capital, he had to proceed one step at a time. The sale of the two racing cars provided him with a small amount of capital to invest in a new model. The necessary components were already available on the market. The 1.5-liter Type 99 engine from the Lancia Aprilia, a reliable unit he knew well and he could easily turn, a platform chassis with rectangular tubular elements, the Gilco 151, and a body that could be built at a reasonable price. The plan was to create an open-top two-seater car featuring lines that were both sporty and elegant. Basso chose the Giat coach-building firm for the bodywork for two simple reasons. At the time, the firm's owner, Mario Felice Boano, needed work because, like many other Turin-based coach builders, he had recently rebuilt his facility following Allied bombing raids and needed to recoup his expenses as soon as possible. Also, Giat was still synonymous with an high-end luxury brand, and bearing its badge on the body sides would have added commercial value to the new car. However, lacking an in-house design department, Boano directed him to a young designer who worked for them after hours, and it was quite cheap to hire. Thus, Basso visited Giovanni Michelotti at his home and outlined his ideas. Working from the chassis scheme, Michelotti developed several proposals balancing the client wishes with the need to simplify body construction to cut costs. The result was a roadster with simple clean lines and a Spartan dashboard with two main circular gauges. Yet it failed to appeal much to the customers. In fact, Basso took more than a year to sell it. The car appeared quite small compared to vehicles of similar engine displacement, such as the Lancia Aprilia and the Fiat 1.5-liter Cabriolet, even though its creation featured a tuned 60-horsepower engine and weighed less than 900 kilos. He found an ally in his friend Alcide Ferri, the Lancia dealer from Udine, who he had met in the high-climb racing scene, who approached him and commissioned a second sample and a berlinetta, the latter to be bodied by Stabilimenti Farina, promising to order two more if he could sell them quickly. Meanwhile, in May 1949, Basso entered the car in the Nervi Concours d'Elegance near Genoa, where it attracted attention despite not winning any prize. However, convinced of the project's merit, Basso decided to invest in promoting his cars and paid the entry fees for the second roadster and the berlinetta at the Villa d'Este Concours d'Elegance in September 1949. The roadster was entered under the Ghia name and the berlinetta under Stabilimenti Farina, as Basso was not a member of the National Car Manufacturers Association. Like the previous one, the second example was also named Speciale Basso, and it was equipped with a car radio installed in a newly designed dashboard. It was here that the jury took notice of the small car and finally, 2 years after his debut, appreciated its qualities. Basso's Aprilia Speciale won the first prize in the 70 bis category for two-seater sport cars. The berlinetta version, however, failed to garner much acclaim, perhaps because its styling bore a strong resemblance to the Fiat 1100 Coupe by Stabilimenti Farina produced the year before. Nevertheless, Basso received 2 additional orders for the Spyder, and Ferri placed 2 orders for the berlinetta. So Ghia built a total of 4 spyders. All of them were sold after the Villa d'Este concourse. No open two-seater built prior to this had been so innovative. Its design represented a complete novelty, unlike anything seen before. However, as it was not a mass-produced model, it saw very limited distribution and minimal press coverage that incidentally was paid for by Ghia rather than Basso since the beginning. Even the legendary Cisitalia 202, whose basic line would go on to define the standard of the Italian Gran Turismo cars for the next 3 decades, was not well received at first. Indeed, when it premiered at the 1947 Villa d'Este Concours d'Elegance, 9 out of 10 automotive journalists failed to even notice. Let us examine the car styling. The lines are remarkably simple and clean. Given the wheelbase of approximately 2.5 meters, the designer's pencil created a sleek profile featuring a long center of gravity and subtly defined rear hunch. At the front, the overhang is compact and the detailing borders on minimalism. The grille is small and narrow, as are the front air intakes. On the hood, which is crossed by a subtle chrome strip, 2 vents allow hot air to escape. The door handles, turn signal, and lights, the rear ones, are recessed. The windshield is lightweight, featuring 2 small plexiglass side wings that act as wind deflectors. The headlights, supplied by Altissimo, a firm of Turin, are the same type used on the Cisitalia 202, while the wheel covers are the self-ventilated units created by Ruspa of Turin that same year. The car was fitted with the same 165/400 tires as the Lancia Aprilia. However, since they protrude slightly beyond the bodywork, Michelotti decided to mask this by slightly flaring the outer edge of the wheel arch. This simple technical solution, known in Italian as labrino, small lip, was adopted here by Michelotti for the first time and would go on to become a signature detail of many of his future models. The engine of the Speciale Basso is set slightly back from the front axle, while the passengers sit ahead of the rear axle. With its rear-wheel drive layout, the car achieves a 50-50 weight distribution, a fundamental characteristic for all the roadster that will follow in the next decades. While remaining faithful to the original project, Michelotti applied and modified and evolved it in many different ways, so much so that all the international magazines reported his works, which inspired many other designers. His ideas became the starting point for the development of many other roadsters right up to the present days, not only in the British car world, influenced so much by Michelotti during the 60s, but also internationally. Even the latest and the most recent project contains the seed sown by Michelotti. It is precisely for this reason that we can safely say that the Speciale Basso Spyder, designed by Michelotti, is what is known today as an instant classic, a term describing a work of art on 4 wheels that possess timeless appeal. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share this video.